we'll start just so you guys can just tell everybody who you are, what series who you are, where you're from, and what series you run in, and any sponsors or anything you want to talk about, anything like that. Beth, you can go ahead and start if you want.
All right, thanks. Hi everyone, welcome to our Google Plus Hangout. My name is Beth Chryst. I am basically in your nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I am currently running the Mazda MX-5 Cup Series. It runs in conjunction with Grand Am and American Le Mans Series. Self-funded team. I have a couple sponsors. Studio Row does all of my media and marketing stuff and training for me, as well as I am a driver for Race for Girls, working on wrapping up partnerships with Last Summer Racing, and then my father's company also sponsors me, Chryst Brothers Construction. All you, Jessica.
Thanks. Hi, you guys. I'm Jessica Clark. I live in Westlake, or actually I live in Ventura, California now, which is in Southern California. I race a Lucas Oil Modified, so that's on a pavement oval track, usually quarter-mile, half-mile tracks. And I raced for Ron Sutton's Winter Circle for about 4 years until he went out of business about a couple months ago. So this year I'll be racing for my own team. And my main sponsor is Pit Image. They do all of our graphics. They made this shirt. They have an awesome product line. And I am also partners with K&N Filters, Race for Girls, Beachside CrossFit, and Third Point Productions. So I look forward to answering your guys' questions.
All right. Thank you, ladies. What we're probably going to do, this is, like I said, I posted about this just to let everybody know, I'm Amanda Martin. I own FRN, and I do all the stuff with FRN, so that's me. If you all have questions, feel free to put them in the comments section of the event that we created on Google+, or you can post questions on the Facebook post that I created, Facebook message, or you can tweet them to @FemaleRacing. We'll go ahead and get started on some of the questions that we've gotten. The first question that we are going to start with is a question that was posted on the Google Plus event. It says, "Hi, my name is Faith. I am 10 years old and I'm getting ready to start my 5th year of racing go-karts. My dream is to one day race NASCAR when I grow up. When you all were my age, what was your dream?" Jessica, if you want to start.
When I was 10, I actually didn't even race cars yet. I started in go-karts when I was 11, but then I was just having fun, and I didn't have much of a dream at the time. I decided that I wanted to be in NASCAR about 3 years ago. So I've been working diligently ever since then, but I totally congratulate you on having those big goals set at such a young age. It'll be really helpful with you in the future.
Beth?
Actually, I'm kind of with Jessica. I didn't really start racing until I think I was maybe 14 or 15. I kind of got a late start in my racing career. I was a huge travel softball player, so that was kind of where my life was until I started or kind of found the love for karting. I had been to my local, oval asphalt track since I was in my mom's stomach, so I always was a fan of racing, just never really thought that it was going to be something that I was interested in doing myself. But like Jessica said, props to you for already having your goals and aspirations already set. That's something that really kind of gives you a clear path of what you want to do and how you want to achieve your goals.
Okay. Sorry, my computer keeps freezing and not freezing because I'm refreshing everything. Erica Dakota, that is a rally racer, she wanted to know if if you all have a favorite race seat.
Race seat?
Race seat. Like different, I'm sure you all have had several different race seats that you've used in your car. What is the best one you've had? Most comfy, I guess.
I've only raced in Butler built race seats, and I don't know if they make seats for like rally cars. I'm sure they do, but I like it because it's custom fit to your body shape, and the padding they put in their seats are really comfortable. The only issue is getting them into my kind of car is it's really difficult because you can't take the headrest part off of it, so it makes it a pain to get in through the door. You usually have to take the roof off to get the seat in and mounted, but once it's in, it's solid as a rock, so I really like Butler Builts.
My car came with a Kirky, and that's pretty much the only thing that I've ever had. It's really not very plush. Could have just been the seat that came with the car. So I don't know. I've looked at like Safecraft or even Sparko. They make some pretty like plush, comfy looking seats. Maybe a good like Christmas present to myself.
Another good seat is the Joy of seating seats. They're really nice too.
Never even heard of them.
I've heard. Well, it might be like a circle track type seat, but I'm not sure. You know, the one that has this headrest longer, so you can only look left.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see. What series? I know, Jessica, you said you touched on that you wanted to be in NASCAR. What series do you see yourself progressing into, and then what series do you hope to end up in?
Is this for me or Beth?
Either one of you. You can go ahead and start.
Okay. My ultimate goal is to get to the Cup Series, and I see myself racing in either ARCA or K&N East within the next couple years, preferably next year, and then just keep progressing from ARCA to Nationwide to the Sprint Cup Series. I have some connections with different teams, and I'm just looking for that big business that can make me the face of their company and use me as their marketing partner.
So do you anticipate relocating to the East Coast?
Yes. Yeah, I anticipate moving to North Carolina, just that area.
Awesome. Beth?
I actually am kind of completely in love with road racing and sports car racing. So, I mean, I guess now that Grand Am and American Le Mans have merged, you know, I would like to stay with them. But, you know, I love racing. I think most race car drivers, you know, love racing. So everyone has a preference, but I'm pretty sure that no one would turn down the opportunity for any type of racing. But, you know, I would progressively like to move up, maybe Continental Tire, and then, you know, move up to the bigger classes in the American Le Mans or Grand Am series. So kind of my plan.
Here is Michael Burmeister has a question for you ladies. His is kind of a two-part question. It says, what was the toughest moment of your careers, the one that really tested your willingness to keep it up, and what ended up solidifying that willingness? Beth, you can start this one.
I kind of came to a point in my career where it was either, you know, you were going to have to make a huge sacrifice, or, you know, you were going to have to continue on with your life, you know, racing as a hobby. So I think it was 2010, I had the opportunity to buy the MX-5 Cup car that I bought, and, you know, I kind of sold my house and bought the race car and kind of made a bunch of sacrifices, moved back in with my parents, and have been making, you know, race car payments instead of street car payments. So, you know, that was a huge sacrifice for me at, you know, kind of an age where I really should be kind of solidifying my career, both, you know, as a race car driver and professionally outside of racing, if it wasn't going to be with racing. So that was probably my biggest sacrifice. Definitely wish, in times that, you know, giving your house back and selling it back to the bank is very difficult for you as a growing adult. But it's paid off for me. You know, the highs are really high, the lows are very low, like any form of racing. But, you know, there isn't a day that I don't, you know, regret making the choice that I made to kind of chase my dream. And it was kind of like now or never. If I didn't do it, I was going to be too old, and, you know, I could have missed it out on a great opportunity.
Jessica, have you had one of those in your career yet? You're really young.
Yeah.
I was like really young, but you're not that young.
Let's see. As Beth was talking, I was trying to think of one. I mean, obviously racing has its ups and downs, and that, like she said, the highs are super high and the lows are extremely low. I think when Ron Sutton went out of business about two or 3 months ago, that was one of those moments in my life where I was literally left with no car, no crew, and I have 2 months until the racing season starts for 2013. So I literally had to drop everything I was doing and figure out over my winter break between school semesters what I was going to be racing for the 2013 season, if I was going to race at all. Obviously, I chose to race because I don't think I could ever quit racing. But the question was, to what extent am I going to be doing it this year? And we talked to a bunch of different teams, looked at so many different options, and we decided that the best option would be to race with my own team, Jessica Clark Racing, in the Lucas Oil Modified Series. And it ended up being like the most harmonious deal, where the car we ended up buying the 2012 Lucas Oil Modified Championships car. We have I have the driver, Austin Barnes. He's a driver coach for me, like 5 out of the 9 races. So he's been a really good mentor. And I also have his crew chief, Steve Teets, who built the car, on my side for 5 out of the 9 races. And my dad and I put together a race car, trailer, truck, and shop in 2 months. And we're an operating race team after 2 months of working really hard, week in, week out. And I guess it's my story of being faced with something really difficult, but pulling through it and having all the pieces fall into place.
That sounds like, yeah, that's just a great story. Like, I can't imagine having to do all that in 2 months.
It's all because of my supportive parents.
Oh, yeah. The little girl who asked the question earlier, her mom actually has a question. She says, do your parents go and watch you race? And do they still get butterflies like she does when she watches her daughter race? You can start, Jessica.
I don't know. I constantly ask them this. I think my dad... It's different from my mom, and it's different feeling from my dad. I'll start with my mom. When I started racing go-karts, my mom did not like it. She did not approve of me going 60 miles an hour down a straightaway without a seatbelt. So I only raced those for about 1.5 years, and nothing ever happened. I had never even seen anything bad happen to anybody, but she felt more comfortable with me having a cage over my head. And I raced open wheel midgets. I ended up winning 2 championships in the USAC Ford Focus midgets. And I think the turning point for her was when I became a stock car driver. Honestly, I think she had her mind put at ease when I had fenders and a roof over my head. But for my dad, I don't think he gets nervous. I think they both trust me as a driver. They're more nervous about the drivers around me because they know that I can handle myself, but I'm racing against a bunch of guys, and you know they have their own preconceived notions of what kind of drivers they are. But my dad, he gets more nervous about what move I'm gonna make next. Like if I'm gonna pass this car the way he would pass them, you know. So he gets pretty animated if I don't drive the way he would want me to drive the car. But he has gotten a lot better about that too. I think both my parents have over time been put more at ease. I think it just comes with time.
Beth?
I think my mom is a huge fan. Unfortunately, she isn't able to travel with me as much now that we're racing professionally in the MX5 Cup Series. But I think my dad still gets really nervous. I think he starts out calm, and then, as the race kind of settles in, he slowly starts to like get a little bit more talkative on my radio, and he's like, gotta get him, don't lose focus, kind of stuff like that. But, I don't. We've been through some huge ups and downs in karting. I've lost 3 friends in karting, racing, so, they've been there. Basically, my first race ever, I went first lap, first corner, and spun out, and it had been raining, so I was, like, stuck in the mud, and that was it. And I didn't have a radio. It was my first race, and my mom looked at him, and he was like, you buy her a radio right now. I don't care what it costs. And he's like, well, there's not a red flag. She can't be hurt. And she was like, get a radio. So that was kind of like, as long as I can communicate the minute something happens, if it's me or if it's not me, then I think they're okay. But, I think they're parents, they want you to be okay and live in the precious bubble that they created for you.
Shay just said that she's not going to be able to make it. So it's just us for tonight, looks like. Carrie has a question for you, ladies. She says, if you could meet any race car driver, past or present, who would it be and what would you talk about? Beth?
Oh, man, I was hoping that you were going to take Jessica first.
Oh, Jessica just disappeared.
Oh. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is a little bit difficult.
Don't say who I think you'll say.
I maybe have to.
No.
I'm not really good with this whole pass thing. So, all right, brace yourself, folks. Kyle Busch, wheelman behind the wheel. I would love to kind of know, where he learned all of his ways behind the wheel, I guess, because I think that the things that he can do, car control wise, and kind of make something happen, maybe if he's not in love with the setup on the car. So I guess that's probably who I would pick.
Did you hear the question, Jessica?
No, I didn't. Everything froze, and then I had to restart my video.
The question was, if you could meet any driver, past or present, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
Let me think about it.
At least she didn't get any time to listen to it. It's difficult. That is a good question for me.
Yeah.
Beth said Kyle Busch. If you didn't hear Beth, she said Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I heard that. And I totally agree. I think that would be one of my...
No.
Because he is a wheelman, and plus his character is changing. I think his life is really good for him. So I think he's turning out to be a nice guy. My grandma's become a big fan of his. But for me, I think I would probably have a chat with probably Tony Stewart.
Oh, that's my second favorite. Good one.
Because I feel like he has some qualities that I don't have, and I would like to learn them from him. He's I'm a straightforward person, but he seems like he knows how to get the job done. And I like his diversity with racing. I know he's not the only one, but he races the Chili Bowl, and then he goes and races in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. So I think it would be cool to learn kind of the dynamics of how he runs his racing team and how he goes about things, because it would be an interesting perspective to see.
I guess those are good choices. No, I'm just kidding. I agree with
You don't like either of those, do you?
No, I agree with Toy Story. I like Toy Story.
That is terrible.
Me and Beth have a friendly NASCAR battle every Sunday when it's racing season. We text furiously during the races, giving each other crap about drivers. But both are good choices. I agree. They both are, they are definitely drivers you could learn something from. So we have a funny question. It's from our pal, the NASCAR jet dryer. And he wants to know if you girls practice your jet dryer avoidance often. Do you have an avoidance plan in place if you're ever faced with a jet dryer? Jessica, you may start.
I guess my answer to that question would be when all things fail, lock up the brakes. I don't know, pushing the clutch, lock up the brakes. Don't hit the jet dryer. It's a big obstacle, not too hard to miss, but I don't know. I guess my avoid it at all costs because I don't want to hurt the poor jet dryer. That's always good.
Beth.
I have a fire suit, but you know how that goes. It only lasts for so long.
I think really, I don't remember all the conditions and situations that they were in, but if there's a jet dryer on the track, you probably shouldn't be going like 130 miles an hour to try and, like you can control your own destiny a little bit better if you're not like flat out wide open trying to catch the pack.
Right.
So, and I feel like if the jet dryer's still on the track, they're probably not going green next lap. So you could they kind of tell you if they're doing like a hot pole on our track, you don't get to run flat out in that corner. So maybe where the jet dryer is, like ease off. I mean, I think the jet dryer is awesome, but I would like to have no run-ins.
No run-ins with the jet dryer in the future. So I know you guys, Beth, primarily you run on road courses, and Jessica, you run on circle tracks. If any track, oval, road course, anywhere in the world, where is the track what track is it that you would love to just go, not even take a race car to, take a race car, any kind of car, what would you take, which car would you take, and which track would you take it to? Beth?
Oh, I don't know. I really just I think Nürburgring's really cool. It's really long, so I'm sure that it would take me quite a while to learn it. But I mean, I would obviously want to take something that I was already comfortable in prior to, like why put yourself in a new place and a new car if you got to pick your ideal situation. So I think maybe, even just little Miss Scarlett, my MX-5 Cup, I would take her. It may take me hours to make one lap, but...
Jessica?
The track I would love to drive on is Bristol. I've driven it on iRacing, and I love the banking of it. It looks like a blast. It's a blast on iRacing, and you can't even feel the speed of it. So, I would probably drive.
What kind of car?
That's what I'm thinking about. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I don't have any experience in a cup car, but obviously that's what I would want to drive on it. So I'm gonna have to say a cup car.
Well, I live an hour and a half from Bristol. I grew up outside of Bristol, so that's why I was doing my little happy dance. Because Bristol is that's my home track, so we love Bristol. Okay, there's a question from Krista Smith on the event page, and she said she's a girl racer as well, and she races off-road stuff. She said, can you guys give her any tips on female drivers with sponsors? Jessica, you want to start with that one?
What I've learned the past 3 or 4 years is that the main thing you want to do is first figure out your assets. First figure out what makes you different than everybody else, and then use that to your advantage. And one of the other main things is have confidence no matter what, because it doesn't matter how old you are, you are going to be noticed for being a female race car driver. And to have the guts to go up to a company owner or whoever it is and ask them for sponsorship is impressive in itself. So I think that just being a female race car driver with something unique about you is one foot in the door. The other foot in the door would be to view sponsorship not as somebody giving you money to go race your race car. You need to see it as a marketing partnership where they are investing in you to market their company and be the face of their brand and strengthen their product line, their image, whatever they need you to do. And they need to get that return on investment in your marketing platform, so your motorsports team or yourself. So I guess that's my short spiel on marketing that I have. I could go on for days about it.
I think you hit it perfectly on the head.
I was gonna say she didn't really leave much for me to like cover, so good job.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
He actually went and posted this in as an actual picture is.
I didn't hear what you said.
I was gonna say you broke up
computer's
for me.
glitching.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I said Chris actually posted this in the questions. He wants to know what the picture is behind your head.
Me?
Whose head?
Yes.
Or wait, whose head?
You, Beth.
Oh, Chicago. Can you see it? Wait. Can you see it?
Yeah, we saw it.
Thank you, IKEA.
Jessica doesn't really have much behind her.
No, just a mirror.
Okay. Do you all have any questions you want to ask each other while I am refreshing my...
Jessica, do you run any in-car footage on any of your stuff? Like where people can go and watch?
I haven't done that yet because I didn't have a GoPro up until now. I just bought a GoPro and I'm going to be hopefully streaming live footage because I got the GoPro Black Edition saved up for it, and it has that Wi-Fi package built into it. So I need to figure out how to do that because my car came with like 5 different mounts on it. But Mav TV is affiliated with Lucas Oil, so we're gonna have like 3 televised races from Mav TV.
Ooh, awesome.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Do I? No. Did you ask me, Jessica?
Yeah.
I do not.
So let me know when they have those races go on.
Yeah, they're like breaking up, I think.
Sorry, my computer's freaking out.
No, I don't
Do
actually.
you have a question?
I was just saying, whenever they televise those races on my TV, make sure to let me know so I can post about them, so everybody can watch them.
Okay, I'll let you know. Yeah, my YouTube channel has really old stuff on it. Some of it is kind of funny and embarrassing. I was younger. I think there used to be a video of me like eating a cookie in the trailer or something like that, and they were trying to get me into the car, but I had to finish my cookie or something.
Nice.
And
No, mine's all old stuff. And then I'm trying to work with Mazda to find out like legality and copyright issues. We're all required to run in-car cameras, but because we have a TV package, I'm trying to get exact clarification. I haven't been able to get an answer as to whether or not I can post my own in-car video because it is my camera. It's not the TV crew because sometimes they'll add cameras in the car.
Right.
But I haven't been able to get clarity yet. So I've kind of been leery to post any in-car footage just for, legality issues.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and I have a question now. In light of Danica getting the pole, which female driver do you guys look up most to? Beth, you can start.
I actually think I look up probably the most to Simona. She really has kind of overcome a lot of diversity. Poor thing, I feel like every time she goes to the track, like or like all the media is on her, like this last time her car caught on fire, and she burned her hands, and Pippa Mann is actually a great mentor for me as well through Glass Hammer Racing. So really the two of them are kind of, leading the way, outside of all the media blitz around Danica, but they're doing really great things behind the scenes on and off the track, which is really admirable for girls that are trying to kind of make their own way in the sport. I really hope to see Simona kind of, really make a large stand this year in the IndyCar. And I'm hoping to see Pippa in the 500. I know she's working hard at it.
Sorry, my thing glitched again.
It's okay. Did you hear the question?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Go ahead.
I look up to Jennifer Jo Cobb. I mean, I don't really follow too many other female racers. Just because I hardly have time to watch NASCAR races in general because I'm constantly doing my own thing and, always racing on the weekends. But I do like her sense of drive and her commitment to keep on chasing her dream no matter what. And I think that she's the perfect example for other women in racing because she is, I feel like she's a kind-hearted person with good intentions and is all about keeping her image, nice and wholesome, I guess. And plus, she's a great driver. And it also shows that it doesn't matter what your age is. I started reading this book called The Magic of Thinking Big, and literally everything you do is controlled by, I think, your outlook on life and your outlook on what you're doing. So as long as you have the belief in yourself, you can achieve what you want to achieve as long as you put in the hard work, of course. But I really look up to her for that because she works her butt off and she deserves to be at the very top.
I agree completely. I actually, a couple years ago, got to go to Bristol and hang out with her and her team, and I actually stayed with her team and everything after the race and stayed like at the house where they were staying and everything. And her team really bust their ass. Like they really put forth like tremendous effort. Like I can't even put into words how much effort they put into their team, and it's really. It was at a point to where I was getting kind of discouraged with NASCAR, and it kind of brought NASCAR back to what NASCAR used to be for me because her team does really, they work really, really, really hard. So,
plus, I think part of that is she has the personality and the relationship with her entire team that makes them want to work for her,
Yes.
and bust their butts for her. I think she's created, more of a family style like team where, she's got that personality that people want to do things to help her with her career.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's an admirable quality to hold. You know, if you can find how to make people want to work for you and help you along the way, that's incredible.
I completely agree. Okay, we have some more questions. Let me pull them up here. Amber Abram actually asked me if I'd ever been to Kingsport Speedway. I have. I actually spent many a childhood night at Kingsport Speedway. My uncles used to race mini stocks, and that's where I spent my Friday nights, was at Kingsport Speedway. So, and I actually hope to get up to Kingsport Speedway this season. There's several girls that race in some of the touring series that race there. Hopefully I'll be up there at some point here. Here's another question for you ladies. It says, what do you think about Camping World Truck Series racing in Eldora? And do you think that you'll see NASCAR racing more on dirt in the future? Jessica, you can take that one first.
I'm excited for the trucks to be racing at Eldora, because it's going to be exciting. Not many of them have dirt racing experience, so it'll just be a great race to watch. And I believe that all of them, especially when they're trucks on pavement, you know, they don't have as much weight in the back. So I think it'll be beneficial to all of the drivers to get that dirt experience. I crave dirt experience. I just don't have the time to veer off of what I'm doing with my circle track racing on pavement. But I do think, I don't know, I don't know if I think that NASCAR is going to have more dirt races, but I sure hope they do. I think that would be awesome. And it would open up a lot of opportunities for other drivers to possibly get into NASCAR, say sprint car drivers that are racing at their local tracks that usually end up going under the radar, but have loads of talent. So hopefully things will be, I don't know, I think it would be cool if things went back to more old school days of racing and NASCAR.
I agree 100%. Beth, what do you think?
I actually do love the idea of bringing a little bit of diversity into the series with tracks, different types of tracks, different styles of tracks. You know, I think that's maybe why race car drivers love, you know, the Kyle Busch and the Tony Stewart. You know, they're diverse. They can, you know, they want to race on everything. They don't want to, you know, necessarily always run on an asphalt oval. So I think it's really cool. I really hope that they, you know, keep the diversity in it and bring in more things. I really think it kind of brings the cream to the top. It always rises. So, you know, Eldora, put some road racing in it, you know, anything that can, you know, kind of show people. And I think it's great for the sport to even bring in different types of fans, because, you know, some dirt fans only like World of Outlaws. You know, World of Outlaws has a great late model program, and they have a great ring sprint car program, you know, but maybe they don't follow NASCAR. But here's a great opportunity for them to see the Camping World Truck Series on dirt, and they may go, you know what, maybe I should watch these races. So I think it's actually in a whole really good for racing in a nutshell.
I know the ARCA series has a really diverse group of tracks that it goes to. It races on dirt, it races on road courses, it races on oval. What do you guys think? Do you think that any series, regardless of it, if it's like a road racing series, do you think that it's like IndyCar goes to both circle track and road racing, and it's almost, you know, a lot more equal than it is with NASCAR, where they only go to two road courses versus the whole season being oval tracks? Do you think that it have, like, the series being more equal, like say where IndyCar, where they kind of split it between, do you think NASCAR should do more road races and maybe sports car do some oval track? What do you think, Beth?
I definitely think, I find that, well, I guess personally, I think with NASCAR having, what, 2 road course races, you know, they have a totally different car for it. So making them kind of add more road races, I think, is good, because there are very, you know, I think that would also give an opportunity for you know, they call like the road course ringers. That could really give them an opportunity to almost run more of a season if they had, you know, maybe closer to 50-50, you know, and could give them the opportunity to really showcase their talent and then, you know, show areas of improvement for the road racing. Sports car racing, I think, not that there's a problem, because I don't necessarily think there is, but, you know, road racing chassis are, you know, straight up chassis. You know, they are meant to turn both ways. So although teams have backup cars, they don't have backup cars for ovals. You know, they basically run the same car at the track, you know, unless something happens and they have to go to a backup. So I think it would be a little bit more difficult for road racing to go both ways, you know. But I guess IndyCar does it. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Jessica?
Gosh, Beth covered it all pretty much. You got me now. Let's see. I guess the only thing I can add to it is the fact that, I don't know, adding more road course races and dirt races to NASCAR would create more opportunities for different types of drivers, and it would help, you know, round them and their skills. And plus, it would take away from that constant domination of one driver, like say Jimmy Johnson on all the oval tracks, you know, and it'll give opportunities to other drivers to showcase their talent. And then road course racing, I really have hardly any knowledge about the different series and what they do really with the different tracks they go to. I understand the chassis setup, saying how they run straight up and they turn both ways. So I don't know if the same thing would apply to road course racing. But definitely NASCAR. I think it would be interesting if they added some road course races and some dirt races to the NASCAR series. And as Beth mentioned earlier, the whole fans part of it would be great because it's reaching more people, and you know they're just broadening their reach to different people around the country, and I think it would be really beneficial to everybody.
I agree. I think that, I mean, I know there's some NASCAR fans who hate road courses, but there's also some NASCAR fans who hate super speedways, and I think that, yeah, I agree with both of you that I think it would really diversify and help those drivers, because there is the drivers that are good on oval and road courses, and I think it would help level the playing field, like you said, for championships and things like that. Have a question from little Miss Molly Helmuth. She wants to ask you guys a question that she says she gets a lot, and she says that is, how do you guys deal with negative comments? Jessica, you can start.
First of all, hi Molly, I miss you.
Oh, she disappeared. Beth, you go ahead.
All right. You know, I kind of choose. I mean, I guess that's one of the great things about social media is you can kind of go. You can go.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. In case you didn't hear me, hi Molly, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. And let's see, negative comments. I guess it depends what kind of negative comments. So there's the category of the girl-related negative comments, and those ones just fuel me up. You know, they say, like, I don't know, even if somebody says, I don't like the question that asks, do you like it when you go out there and beat all the boys? Like, or are they, like, mad that they're being beat by a girl? Because that's stupid. You know, I'm a driver. You know, we're all drivers on the track. That's a ridiculous question to ask. I don't see it as separated by genders. But I guess another category of negative comments would be like, I don't think you can, you know, make it in this career. Like, that is such a huge goal. Like, getting to NASCAR, that's insane. I mean, sure, you can have fun with it right now, but you need to be realistic and look for other options. Like, don't waste your time like chasing this for like 6 years and then be 25 and like not have anything set up for your career. I don't like comments like that, you know? It's not, I mean, I feel like I really don't take negative comments internally. I just brush them off, and then I think about what I can do to prove them wrong. And with that scenario, I have learned so much through racing that can help me in anything I do. So I feel like I've become such a well-rounded person thanks to what I've done in racing and all the experiences that I've been through. That even if all of a sudden I couldn't race cars anymore for whatever reason, I could find something that made me happy and I could be successful at it. So I think no matter what negative comment you get, you just have to say, all right, that's your opinion, but I am going to be working hard at this, and I know that I can achieve whatever I want as long as I'm working and working and working and, you know, doing it right, having the right people in my life. So I guess that's my answer. Just brush them off.
All right, Beth?
You know, the good things about social media is you can kind of not control your own destiny, but, you know, I think there's a fine art in kind of diverting messages and questions to kind of answering them to what best suits you and what you're representing. I feel like posting opinions is the easiest way to be attacked, which, you know, sometimes, I mean, think about it as people attack you to see how you react. They test your true character. If you're going to crumble, hey, publicity, you know, good or bad, they won. So for me, it's all about kind of shifting or diverting, you know, the negativity, you know. Okay, so you don't think I'm going to succeed? That's okay. You know, you're entitled to your own opinion, but, you know, you are also the fuel in my fire that makes me want to go, you know what, I can do this and I will do this. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be next year, but, you know, I will get where I want to be, you know, and, you know, when you get there, you can think about, you know, it just fuels your fire really to me. But, you know, I try and leave the negativity alone. You know, there's no reason to stoop to people's levels to get the rise out of you that they're really ultimately looking for.
Plus, I think that hit it on the nose where it's stooping to their levels. Anybody who's going to say something negative to begin with isn't worth your time. You know, it's like you shouldn't even put a second thought into it right when they say it, because it's like they're already beneath you. You know, if you just keep yourself above them and hold to your character and keep yourself, stay true to yourself and, you know, not cause controversy, then I think you won't have an issue with it.
I agree 100%. Okay, we have a couple more questions. Amber asks if you guys have any type of charity that you support. She said that she helps a charity by the name of Mini Missions. That's a local charity that helps kids with cancer. So, Jessica, you can go ahead and start with that one.
Say it, Mini Missions or Many Mansions?
Mini Missions is the one she helps.
Oh, okay. What I love about racing is I've had so many opportunities to participate in different charity events. I did one go-kart race for kids who have been abused, and it raised money for them. I went to a soapbox derby race that was a food drive and collected clothes for the homeless. And I had my car on display there. And then I was also in a celebrity race for Kids Against Cancer Foundation. And I wasn't a celebrity. I wasn't even supposed to be in the race, but I was coaching the celebrities, and the girl who was supposed to be driving my car got in the car and said, what's the third pedal for? So she didn't know how to drive a clutch with a clutch, and so I had to be her stunt devil. So I was able to race in that, and I was really excited because I had my own little part in it. But currently, I'm looking for a deaf community type charity to support, because I'm learning sign language, and I feel that the deaf community is so big, and they're, the only thing that's different about them is that they can't hear. And as I've kind of been submerged in the culture and the community of deaf people, they're such expressive and exciting people, and they're so nice, and I feel like it would be great to bring that community to racing, because they don't need to hear the race cars to think that racing is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They can see it, they can still feel the rumble of the cars, and they can get really excited about it, and I think they're kind of excluded from racing. So I would really love to bring the deaf community to NASCAR and to any type of racing.
NHRA's, I think, the most sense assaulting type of racing, because you feel it. I think, honestly, even if you didn't hear it, you would feel it more. So
for sure.
Okay, Beth.
I actually am not involved with any charities, and I'm kind of bummed about that, because I really wish that I had the opportunity to, my father's diabetic. I would love to, help with the Diabetes Foundation, or, any sort of children's hospital. I want to share my love with kids, just because they don't get to come out and play with us, the way that, most of us do, doesn't mean that they don't have the love and compassion for going out and playing and doing whatever they want to do. So I'm kind of looking around trying to see, what's going on. But, this weekend I'm doing a glass hammer experience teaching younger girls how to race. And although it's not really a charity, I'm really excited to work with younger girls.
Okay, and let's see, there's another question here. This might be the last one we do. It says, would you guys ever try off-road racing?
Heck yeah. I don't know if I would do like Baja 500. My dad raced in the Baja 500. It took him 16 hours to complete it, and when he got home, I was about 8 years old. His eyes were this color for like 2 weeks. So that worried me a little, but I would love to at least try it. There has been some dangerous, aspects about it with, spectators getting hit. So I would definitely do it in a really controlled situation, because I would not want to have to be in one of those scenarios. But I would love to try it. I'd love to jump a car in the desert. You never know.
I think I would like to maybe just be like passenger shotgun, like you drive, I'll ride, and then maybe after that, I'm a very like hands-on kind of person. I'm not good at like visually trying to picture anything. So maybe after like a ride along, I'd be like, all right, let's swap seats kind of thing. But, I think it's crazy. I love, one of the girls that's in Washington, D.C., Miss Emmy Hall, does off-road racing, and I think she's awesome. She was going to do some crazy, I think it's like a Monaco race with no GPS, no nothing. You and your co-pilot just have at it to try and like get across this desert in Morocco or something. And like, to me, that is crazy.
Yeah, I think we're going to have Emmy on our next hangout. Hopefully I can have one soon so she can get on and actually talk about her Morocco races. It's going to be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We think she's a little crazy for doing it, but all right, guys. Final question is my question.
Oh.
And it is, if I do the drifting stuff, I drift. That's how me and my fiance met. So of any of the new motorsports, and I use new because most of these aren't new, they're just new to the United States or are gaining in popularity. Which of the newer motorsports, say, you know, drifting, rally, time attack, supercross, anything that's really gaining in popularity that's not really the old motorsports like drag racing or anything like that, which of those would you guys like to try your hand out? Go ahead, Beth.
You know, I mean, you and I have also spoke about trying to get me in a drift car. I think the really amazing thing about drifting is how much car control these people have. You know, double clutching, and they're like yanking on e-brakes, like counter steering, like all this just sheer chaos stuff. And I think that it would be really awesome to kind of like get behind the wheel and, you know, grab an e-brake. I have never ever, this is crazy, pulled the e-brake in my car. I drive a Mini Cooper, and people are like, let's grab that e-brake. And I'm like, don't you dare touch the e-brake in my car. So I think that would be fun to maybe pull on someone else's e-brake.
Jessica?
I've tried pulling my e-brake, but it doesn't really work that well. I'm not experienced enough in it.
Really? Have you?
My little Honda Civic. But let's see, I wouldn't mind trying drifting. Rally car racing, that's not really old school or traditional, I don't think. So I would definitely be open to trying that. Race with Travis Pastrana and Ken Block and those guys, and see how I matched up. It would be a thrill, and I love watching their videos and seeing where they can put a car. You know, what they can do with it. It's almost like an art form. You know, they're like painting with their rubber marks. So I think that would be a cool experience.
Well, thank you, ladies, for coming and joining me in this first episode of this. Like I said, we're going to start doing it either on a monthly basis or a bi-weekly basis until we can get, you know, a good rhythm with everything. So I would love to have you guys back on, like, about halfway through your season, and that way we can get updated. Jessica, when's your first race?
My first race is the weekend after next. It's in Havasu, Arizona at Havasu 95 Speedway. So it's going to be an exciting night for me.
Okay, great. Yeah, you definitely have to keep us updated. Beth, when is your first race?
My first race, I believe, is March 13th through the 15th. It is at the Sebring 12-hour with American Le Mans Series.
Okay, great. Well, we will definitely, both of Jessica and Beth are going to be blogging on FRN this year. They may even pull out some video blogs for us.
Yep.
Maybe.
So, you know, keep an eye out.
First.
Yeah, exactly. Is there a class for that?
So, you know, we definitely are looking forward to having them on as bloggers this year. And like I said, we have about 20 plus girls who are going to be doing blogs and video blogs this year. So we'll definitely have lots of stuff coming for, you know, for the fans of the website. So thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate it. Sorry that we couldn't. Shay evidently had something, and our surprise guest also had something come up. So some kind of crazy emergency. I won't say who it was, though, because we don't want to get anybody disappointed. But
we have to give some love here. Race for girls.
Here's the race for girls. Shay,
R4G right here.
Hey.
So we'll
hopefully
have another Behind the Helmet live sometime within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we can get a few more girls on. And thanks, guys, for coming and hanging out with us. And hopefully, like I said, we'll catch up with you guys about halfway through your seasons, and we can get caught up on you guys.
All right.
Bye. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye, guys.